Continuing my 2025 steer towards lower priced instruments, time to take another trip down the Amazon. Keep watching. Yes, hello again and welcome back to GotAUkulele Review Day. As ever, the summary video review, full written review, always linked below these videos where you'll get a lot more information about what it is I'm talking about and my scores. You'll also find some links below the video to do what these people have done. This is my weekly thank you. GotAUkulele is not a commercial site. I don't do paid product adverts. They're not reviews, they're just adverts. So I keep myself completely independent, and it's thanks to people like this that allow me to do this and keep coming back with more reviews, getting you more stuff and keeping the channel going. If you want to help out, that would be hugely appreciative and helpful. And you can also help for nothing by subscribing to the YouTube channel. As I say every week, hit the bell symbol, you'll get notified of new stuff I put up. Okay, I said at the start of the year I wasn't going to solely look at value instruments, but I was going to try and use 2025 to look at more lower priced instruments, and quite often lower priced instruments means instruments that you really only buy on Amazon. I don't recommend people buy from Amazon. I recommend they buy from serious ukulele specialist stores where you'll get a better service. But a lot of people do buy from Amazon. And this one has featured several times. This brand has featured several times on GotAUkulele. Never done very well, always a little bit iffy, and always have lots and lots of 5-star reviews on Amazon. This is the point. Their review system is completely broken and manipulated, quite frankly. And this one, loads of 5-star reviews of it. I grabbed it and I wanted to review it for you. This is from Caramel, and this is the Caramel CAG28 Curly Acacia Concert. And at first looks, it's attractive. It's a modern swoopy double bout shape. It comes in 3 different varieties. I think it comes in an ebony, and it comes in a mahogany, and it comes in this one, which is curly acacia. They are all laminates. I have no problem with laminate instruments, as I always say, if they're built well. And sometimes decent laminates can be better than cheap solids. This is all laminate, and yes, curly acacia. Okay, that meets the product spec. I've seen curlier, a couple of pieces on the front and back. I've seen curlier, but there's some interest going on there. The book matching isn't particularly perfect, but it's not bad, and it is curly and a bit of stripe to it as well. On first observation, as I say, and a fairly attractive looking instrument. The bridge wood isn't specified. Looking at it, it looks like Richlite, which is a composite or a tech wood or a stained hardwood or something. It's in an interesting sort of asymmetric shape. But when I get in closer to it, there's quite a few little scruffy finish marks on it. It's not hugely tidy. I've seen worse, but it's not perfect. Black plastic bridge pins. The bone material, the saddle material is not specified. I don't think it is bone. I think it's plastic. And my first worry, just look how low that saddle is. So there's nothing much more to come down on this saddle. It is set incredibly low. I can't, come on. Well, trust me, it can't go down much more. If you wanted to raise the string gauge, you could easily raise this up with a shim. If the string height action gauge needs to go down, I just don't see how you're going to do it without bottoming the strings out on the bridge plate. That is a fundamental issue to me, but we will see what the string height is like. Decoration, okay, it's all about the wood on this one, and I put some sneak peek pics up and everyone said, oh, that's really, really pretty, isn't it? And it is gloss finished, and the only other decoration being this abalone sound hole ring. But then you get into it, it is hyper thick gloss, and I'm not going to be able to really show you this, but have a look at some of the pictures on the website as well. There are little flaws in it, there are ripples, there are pools. It's really built up, and when you catch it in the right sort of light, it's not really translucent. It sort of turns milky colour because it's just so thick. The laminate's thick as well. I'm looking at the side of the top. It's not a nice finish. It's kind of, it feels gloopy. I don't like the finish. Yes, it shines. Yes, it makes the acacia look okay on this video, but honestly, when I took it outside to take the photographs of it, that's when you really start to see it's not a good gloss finish at all. It's really overly thick. There's a shame. Inside though, pretty tidy, simple back braces and top braces, very thin and notch linings, and I didn't really see much mess in there. Okay, elsewhere on the body, a couple of strap buttons. Okay. No other decoration, as I say, but that does mean you see the edge of the laminate on the top, which some people find a bit ugly. I'm more concerned about just how gloopy that finish is. It's just really bad round here. If I could show you, get the light, it's just really, really thick. Not nice. The neck wood isn't specified, don't know what it is. Very obvious joints at the heel and the headstock. More gloopy gloss on the finish as well, which isn't nice. And very, very, very traditionally Far Eastern. Big broom handle back to the neck. Very standard, skinny 35mm nut, 27 from G2A. This is really not my kind of neck. Your mileage may vary, but I don't like that at all. Topped with more unspecified material for the fingerboard, maybe more composite, maybe tech wood, and possibly one of the worst finished fingerboards I think I've ever reviewed, other than the absolute cheap, brightly painted Sopranos. It's kind of, well, the polish hasn't been buffed out. It is really horrible. I don't want to touch it. It's really, really cloudy, milky, dirty. Ugh. Okay. 18 frets with 14 to the body. Edge bound, and surprisingly, because the QC here on the finish is terrible, the QC on the board is terrible, there's no sharp fret ends, so okay, they got a tick there, no sharp fret ends. Position markers, these sort of flowery outward facing at 5, 7, 10, larger one at the 12th and one at the 15th. They are totally spoilt by the state of the fingerboard, but you do get white side dots. Now that fingerboard can be fixed quite easily with wire wool and a bit of oil. But it should never have been shipped like this. It's awful. Okay, the nut looks like plastic. I'll come on to setup in a moment. And then we got to a slot head, finished in a sort of glossy black. I don't like slot heads on instruments smaller than tenors. I think they look too big and chunky, and this certainly looks too big and chunky for me. The caramel logo is a greeting card sticker, but unlike Martin, at least they put it under the gloss, so it's not going to get peeled off by the by your clip-on tuner. But it is quite scruffy when you get into it. There are finish marks and polish marks in the slots, and the inside of the slots themselves look like they've been carved out with a hammer drill. Really, really untidy. Very scruffy up there. Not very nice. You can see more of the scruffiness down here. They call their tuning machines premium tuning machines. They look pretty generic to me, but to be fair to them, they work all right. Okay. And what else do you get? You get a set of what they call carbon fiber strings. I think they mean fluorocarbon. You get a half decent padded gig bag, no branding on it, and the usual ubiquitous goodie bag of absolutely everything that is worth nothing. Let's see what we get. We get a product manual. Okay, that's helpful. We get a strap, thankfully a regular strap, bearing in mind they're giving you 2 strap buttons, not a sound hole clip strap, as some do. Set of spare strings, a clip-on tuner, a cloth. What else have we got? Oh, a peg puller. That's a nice little treat, actually. That's really helpful for changing bridge pins, and also a couple of spare bridge pins, because they do go missing, and some picks if that is your thing. So all the the kitchen sink stuff is thrown in there, but bear in mind there's no such thing as a free lunch. The price, Amazon dynamic pricing, they'll go up, they'll go down. In the UK at the moment, at the time of this review, £99. So it's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money, although there are several Amazon instruments there which are much cheaper than £99. So it's kind of a little bit on the expensive side of the cheap, if that makes sense. But it's not without issues, and that's always been the case with me with Caramel. I find is that their QC, this finish, I can't tell you enough about how gloopy and ripply and badly applied it is. I'm spotting more and more little dings and flaws in it every time I look at it. That fingerboard is nasty, nasty, nasty. Okay, anyway, it is quite attractive to look at. It's quite chunky and hefty for a concert. 665 grams, big chunky and headstock up there, of course, and lots of gloss finish. 665 grams. Balance is okay though. Feels all right. let's have a play. The other side of the story. Acacia laminate, so we're not going to get necessarily tonal signature of acacia wood because it is just a laminate ply body. But the basics first, okay, the volume. There's some volume, it's not anywhere near the loudest instrument I've played. It's quite quiet actually. It's alright, average volume. Sustain, again, alright. But not the, that actually does cut off quite quick. Yeah, it's not the longest. But what I'm sensing, and I know this is concert scale, there's another little flaw in the finish. I'm finding them everywhere. It's not well done. It's very thin sounding. Volume, very generic. I said I'd talk about setup. The nut is kind of alright, in fact possibly a bit on the low side, but I'm not sensing any string buzz. The height of the strings at the 12th I measure at 2.75 mil. That's within tolerant levels of normality. Some people like to play them that high. I don't. I'd want to take it down. But I can't take it down because this saddle is too low. So if you're not happy with that action, you're stuffed. And if the neck over time starts to bend a bit, as happens, and the string action gets a bit higher here, you're stuffed. You can't take that down anymore without bottoming the strings out on the bridge. That's fatal, potentially, unless you're happy with the 2.75 mil action. Finger picked. That's prettier. That's nicer. Yeah, that's more pleasant. It's too thin on the strumming tone to me. And the volume is not good enough for me. But it's quite delicate. Laid back. Generic. Not bad. Just not great either. And it's a shame, really, because when I first opened it, I thought, that looks quite nice. And then you start to look closer and go, no, that doesn't look nice, and that doesn't look nice, and that doesn't look nice, and that doesn't look nice, and... You know, not all Amazon instruments are terrible. I always do say this. Occasionally you find some diamonds in the rough. This is not one of those diamonds in the rough. More like... cubic zirconia in the rough, shall we say. So it's sort of, it's trying to look the part, but it's not the real thing. Gets an average score from me. It doesn't get a recommendation. I think there's far better instruments you can buy for £100. Okay, you might not get the kitchen sink thrown in, and you might not get the striking wood, but neither of those things make any noise. And I just really couldn't live with some of the quality control on this. I mean, every time I'm just looking, I'm finding more and more. What the hell is that on the gloop on the top? It is... Oh, I've just pulled it off with my nail. It's that thick. Dear me, dear me. Yeah, not an absolute shocker. And I know it's cheap, but there are other things out there that are cheap that don't have finishes like this, and I think that's always seems to be the thing with caramel for me. They're just always scruffy. The caramel CAG28 concert, this one in Acacia, also available in mahogany and ebony, all of them laminates, 99 quid. No. You might like the looks, but don't look at it too closely, is my advice. And it doesn't really have much volume or attractiveness of tone that much. It's not awful. Why am I still talking? Anyway, the CAG28 concert. Thank you very much for watching. I've actually enjoyed looking at this one. It's always interesting to tell you about other sorts of instruments. Back in 2 weeks, I think we've got something quite interesting coming. Not entirely sure. The diary's all over the place at the moment. Back in 2 weeks. Thanks for your ongoing support. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Look after yourselves. See you. Bye.